get dirty! Oh shit!
Do I look like a baby? Do I have a little sookie in my mouth? Am I wearing a little diaper? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, you know who it is, and I come at you guys back again once again with a brand new video. And ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very, very long time since I've last done a video like this, and for all intents and purposes, this is a series that I'm meaning to finish. I promise you guys, I'm meaning to finish this. So, we're going to be doing that with all that being said, and in this video, we are going to be going over Toucan Sam, aka Toucannon, aka Touki, as my buddy Bruce would refer to him as. So, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with its basics, being the typings, abilities, and stats for this Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon guide and review for Toucannon. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into its typing. It is going to be that of normal and flying, a pretty standard and basic typing among a lot of your starter bird Pokemon, quote unquote. And with all that being said, we then get on to the abilities. The first ability that we got is going to be Keen Eye, and Keen Eye ensures that you never ever lose your accuracy in battle, and if your opponent decides to be an Ultra Douche and decide to spam evasion, well, it's not gonna work, not with Keen Eye, baby. Oh, snap. And coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have the ability Skill Link. Now, this is a pretty interesting ability because what this ability does, ladies and gentlemen, my voice just broke right there. Sorry about that. What Skill Link does, ladies and gentlemen, is that it ensures that multiple hitting moves hit a total of 5 times maximum. So that means moves like Bullet Seed, that means moves like Rock Blast that normally hit 2 to 5 times in battle will be hitting a maximum of 5 times guaranteed every single time. So with that being said, I said it's pretty damn cool. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we have the ability Sheer Force. Now, this ability is just, oh my god, it's so godly. Now, what Sheer Force does is, if you're using a move that has a secondary effect, it takes away that secondary effect, but see, get this, ladies and gentlemen, that power of the move gets boosted by 33%, which is just beyond ridiculous. Oh, and you want to know something else that's ridiculous about Sheer Force, ladies and gentlemen, is that if you were to use a move that is powered with Sheer Force and you have a Life Orb in tow, oh man, well guess what? You're not going to be experiencing that Life Orb recoil, and you're still going to get the boost from Life Orb as well. So anytime that you see a Sheer Force user, you best better count on the fact that it's most likely going to be packing a Life Orb to boot. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get into the stats. We have its HP being at base 80, with defense and special defense both being at base 75, so it's got okay-ish kind of bulk. I mean, I think it can take a hit or two when it absolutely needs to. We then get to the offenses. Its attack is at base 120. That is actually really damn respectable right there. Its special attack is at a rather, I want to say, okay base 75, but I gotta tell you something though, ladies and gentlemen, is that this Pokemon has quite the plethora of special type attacks to utilize, and that base 75 special attack is deceptively strong. But then we get to its base 60 speed. It's like, oh man, it's like that right there just kind of a letdown, because this Pokemon is going to be rather slow. But here's the thing though, ladies and gentlemen, is that this Pokemon does have ways of boosting up its speed and boosting itself up in general. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, before we get on to the sets, let's take a look at the typing's strengths and weaknesses. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so for normal and flying, it is right off the bat going to have an electric, ice, and rock weakness, aka a weakness to stealth rock, so you best better be aware of that when playing with Toucannon competitively. But then we get to the resistances. It's going to have a nice resistance to grass, a and a nice resistance to bug. And get this, ladies and gentlemen, oh yeah, it has an immunity to ground and ghost. So overall, I want to say normal and flying is really not that bad of a typing, even defensively, man. But with all of that being said, though, let's go ahead and let's get into our first set. Alright, so with the first set that we got going on here, we are going to be utilizing a skill link set. And I think you guys know where I'm going with this set right here, with this ability by itself. We're going to be using multi-hit moves, baby. Here we go. So, with that being said, we are going to be packing the Life Orb, which at the cost of 10% of your health, you get a boost in the power of your moves by 30%, which is pretty damn sexy, and a pretty fair trade-off if I do say so myself. So, we then get to the nature. It is going to be a naive nature, so that way you're not lowering any of your offensive stats, and instead you're lowering your special defense, but you're boosting your speed stat at the cost as well, which is pretty damn awesome. So we then get to the EV spread. It's going to be 252 attack, 252 speed, and 4 in a special attack. So this Pokemon is going to be a physically based mixed attacker. So what we got going on here for the first move, it is going to be its Stab Brave Bird, and this right here hits ridiculously hard. Now, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, that Brave Bird is a pretty high recoil move, meaning that the damage that you cause to your opponent, a third of that damage will come back to you in recoil, and when you factor in the built up Life Orb recoil, that is going to diminish diminish Toucannon pretty badly in this battle. So if you want to opt out for return, that's entirely up to you. It is a recoil free move, it's a normal type move, and it does hit for base 102 power with maximum friendship. So coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have Bullet Seed. Now the reason we got Bullet Seed, ladies and gentlemen, is so that way we can take on one of its weaknesses, that being rock types. So any rock type Pokemon that think about trying to switch into Toucannon, they're going to be getting a Bullet Seed spat right in their face, and that's going to be pretty damn funny to see that go down. So coming up next, we have Overheat. Now this is where the special attack comes into play, you know. Overheat is just a ridiculously great burst move to have. And I say burst move is because the moment that you use Overheat, your special attack does get lowered by 2 stages. But the thing is, though, ladies and gentlemen, is that it is just a really good move to have. And here's the thing, given the fact that this is not a specially based mixed attacker, you don't have to worry about switching out immediately after you lower your special attack. I mean, this is where the burst effect comes into play. You can just use Overheat on a good steel type Pokemon, get off some really solid damage, and you can just proceed to stay in and be the cool Tuki that you are, and hopefully get your moment to shine by sweeping the rest of the team. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be going with Roost, because Roost is a really solid move to have on a Pokemon like this, because when you are dishing out a lot of punishment, you're going to be taking a lot of punishment too, and a lot of recoil from the likes of Brave Bird, from the likes of Life Orb. So Roost is always a great move to use, because this restores 50% of your maximum HP in a single turn, which is, in my opinion, a pretty invaluable move. Now, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, there are other choices. You could go for something like Knockoff, you go for something like U-Turn, you go for something like Gunk Shot, Flash Cannon, Boom Burst. I mean, this Pokemon's move pool is pretty damn colorful. And with all that being said, though, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's move on to the next set for Toucannon. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. So the ability we're going to be using, it is going to be Sheer Force. Oh, I'm having fun with this already, baby. Woo! So the item for choice is going to be Life Orb. I mean, Sheer Force and Life Orb go together like peanut butter and jelly. It is just absolutely amazing. So we're going to be going with a Jolly Nature to max out the speed and lower the special attack. And the EV spread, it is going to be 252 attack, 252 speed, and 4 into special defense. And the first move we got, yeah, buddy, you guessed it. We are packing that Swords Dance. And Swords Dance is what's going to make this Pokemon great in battle, because it boosts your attack stat by 2 stages, which is redonkulous. Oh, shit. And coming up next, we've got Brave Bird, man. I mean, Swords Dance, Brave Bird, Life Orb boosted, Stab, it is just, it is gonna be a ridiculously hard-hitting move, and even Pokemon that resist it are going to be hurting after a Brave Bird or two that has been boosted. And coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we got Gunk Shot. Yes, this is just amazing, because thanks to Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, thanks to the move tutors, this Pokemon gets access to some really sweet new toys. So what we got going on with Gunk Shot, and here's the thing, it is boosted by Sheer Force because it does have a chance to poison, but now that chance to poison has been taken away. But combined Life Orb, Sheer Force, Swords Dance, it's, oh my god almighty, Gunk Shot is gonna be a nightmare to a lot of Pokemon that don't resist that shit, man. I'm telling you that right now. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we got another nightmarish move known as Knockoff, and this is just, oh my god, I can honestly say, like, having a Pokemon like this have access to moves like that is going to make it that much more of a threat in battle. Now, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of other possibilities when it comes to using a Swords Dance set like this Toucannon. I mean, here's the thing, like, you could go and replace Knockoff for something like U-Turn. It's always a great move to have for scouting. You can go for something like Return. You can go, like, there's a lot of moves like that you can use. It's just ridiculous the kind of options that this Pokemon has. Now, also I want to point out, ladies and gentlemen, is that if you want to remove Gunk Shot, then I would highly recommend removing Sheer Force and replacing it with Skill Link, so that way you can use something like either Rock Blast or Bullet Seed to take advantage of Skill Link's effect. And yeah, that's just, oh man, I love the versatility of this sort of Toucannon. But with all that being said, though, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep going with our next set. And the next set, ladies and gentlemen, goes like this. Yes, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we got Sheer Force. Yes, you are seeing Deja Vu. And coming up next, we got Choice Specs, baby. Oh, yeah. This is gonna be great, man. So, we're gonna be rocking out the Timid Nature to lower the attack and increase the speed. And as for the EVs, we got 2-2 special attack, 2-2 speed, and 4 in a special defense, baby. So, coming up first, we got its signature move here in the set. And what I mean by signature move is that this is going to be the move that you're most likely going to be using. And also, this is the move that this whole set is built around. Boom Burst is not a quote-unquote signature move, as multiple Pokemon can, in fact, you know, learn to use that move. But what Boom Burst does is that this is a base 140 special type attack that is a sound-based move, which means that any substitute users are going to be ravaged with Boom Burst. It's going to be ridiculously fun to see that go down. And coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we got Flash Cannon. Oh man, this is going to be another great hard-hitting move for rock-type Pokemon as well as ice types as well. So yeah, it's like you got a move type that can combat 2 out of 3 of its weaknesses, right? And Flash Cannon does have a chance to lower the special defense down, so that gets taken away by Sheer Force, it gets boosted by Sheer Force, it gets boosted by Choice Specs, and it's just gonna be all boosted fun in this point here, ladies and gentlemen. So coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we do have Overheat. This is, like I said, a very, very great burst move to have. Now, in this situation, ladies and gentlemen, where you are going to be mainly utilizing your special attack, the Overheat will end up hurting you quite a bit because it will lower the special attack by 2 stages. So, more often than not, you are going to find yourself switching out. So, if Overheat doesn't tickle your fancy, then you can go for something like maybe Hidden Power Ground. So that way, you will have at least a move to be able to take on other Steel-type Pokemon and Rock-type Pokemon. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is just my simple suggestion. It is up to you on how you use these sets. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going for U-Turn. U-Turn is universally a great move to have on a choice set when it comes to any Pokemon in general. Like U-Turn, yes, it is a physical move, yes, which means that you're not going to be doing as much damage as you would hope because it's mainly meant to scout, but it does cause good chip damage, and it is just an absolutely great move to have overall. It's great for scouting, it's great for getting out of sticky situations, and finally, finally, ladies and gentlemen, like, U-turn is just an overall great move to have on a choice spec set like Toucannon. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep going with the next set. Now, actually, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to the last set, if we can actually go back to this set here for a second, I also want to point out, ladies and gentlemen, that this Pokemon does also have access to Heat Wave. So if the fact that Overheat lowers your special attack by 2 stages is not up to your standards and doesn't suit your fancy, you can easily replace Overheat with Heat Wave, as Heat Wave is also boosted by Sheer Force, and you don't have to worry about your special attack being affected in any way, shape, or form. But the reason I put Overheat, ladies and gentlemen, is that it is a really good, immediately powerful move to use, but it does have its drawbacks, and with Heat Wave being slightly weaker, it is a more reliable move as it does not lower your special attack. However, it does have a chance to miss, so please bear that in mind. Now, finally, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next set, and what we got going on, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have Sheer Force again, and we have Choice Band here this time. I think you guys know where I'm going with a set like this. So with that being said, we're going to be going with a Jolly Nature here to max out the speed and lower the special attack. And with the EV spread going on, we got 2v2 in the attack, 2v2 in the speed, and 4 into special defense. And first things first, ladies and gentlemen, yeah buddy, you guessed it, we rockin' that Brave Bird because it's really solid flying type stab. And it's base 120 power. It is going to be ridiculously hard hitting. Oh, snap. So, coming up next, we got Gunk Shot, baby. Gunk Shot, boosted by Sheer Force and boosted by Choice Band, is going to hurt big time, man. And it is a really solid poison type move to use against the likes of grass, fairies. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome, you know. That's all I gotta say about that. And coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, you want to talk about awesome. How about let's talk about knockoff, man. Let's just talk about knockoff for a sec. I still can't get over the fact that Toucannon gets access to knockoff. Knockoff is a great base 65 power move that if you manage to knock off your opponent's held item, it gets boosted by 50%. That's ridiculous. Oh, snap. I gotta say that this move right here is a disruption in so many ways, and it's deceptively powerful too, you know what I mean? And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be rocking U-turn now. As I mentioned in the last set, U-turn is just an overall great move to have, especially on a choice set like this. But the big difference here in this set is that this is a physical move, this is a physical set, and U-turn is actually going to do damage with Choice Band boosted with max attack investment, all that good stuff. Now, I also want to make mention, ladies and gentlemen, that Toucannon does have access to Steel Wing, so if you want to take advantage of another Sheer Force boosted physical attack, then you can easily go for something like Steel Wing, have it replace something like Knockoff if you really don't care about Knockoff, or have it replace something like Gunk Shot if you really don't care about Gunk Shot. But you want to definitely keep Brave Bird and U-turn, as those two moves make this set amazingly great. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's move on to the next set. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so with this set right here, we are going to be utilizing Kenai. Wait, Kenai? Kenai? What are you thinking, you guys are probably asking? Well, see, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that with this set right here, Kenai is really going to be the best ability to make use of here. But here's the thing, you guys are asking, it's like, well, wait a second, man, what's wrong with you? Why are you not using something like Sheer Force or Skill Link? This set is going to explain it all, don't worry. So, coming up next, we have the item Rocky Helmet, and this item right here is absolutely amazing, because what this item does is if the opponent was to make physical contact with you, Rocky Helmet takes away 1/6 of their health. So, I think you guys might have a little bit of a better idea as to what sort of set this is going to be. But coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be giving it an Impish Nature to lower the special attack and increase the defense. And with the EV spread, we got 248 EVs into the HP, 252 into the defense, and 8 into the attack. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be utilizing Toucannon as a physical wall, baby. Oh, snap. Here we go. Now, with the first move, it it's going to be its signature move. And I say signature move because Beak Blast is only exclusive to Toucannon. Now, Beak Blast is a charge move, yes, but there's a special gimmick behind it, yes, because what happens here is that when you're in the middle of charging, if an opponent was to make physical contact with you, they get burned. And a burn is what's going to cripple physical attackers, especially because what happens is that burn cuts the attack stat in half, which is ridiculous, and it gives Toucannon additional bulk, especially with the set that we got going on. And not to mention also, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is going to be a huge deterrent for any other physical attackers that you will be facing here in battle. And coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we're obviously going to be going for Roost, because this is what Toucannon does. It's meant to physically wall your opponents here in this situation, and you're gonna want to have a way to heal up. So Roost is obviously the best option, right? I mean, it heals 50% of your maximum health in one single turn. I mean, can't go wrong with that, baby. And coming up next, we got U-turn. U-turn is also a really good move to have here in this situation, because given the fact that this Pokemon is going to be relatively slower, you're going to be able to pull off effectively slow U-turners to be able to get your switch in very, very safely and threaten the opposition out and have an advantage in battle. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we got Knockoff, because for a physically defensive utility kind of set, I guess, like this, Knockoff is just a really solid move to have to make this Pokemon even more annoying. Now, with all that being said though, ladies and gentlemen, the reason I go for Keen-Eye is because of the fact that Sheer Force does nothing for this set. Skill Link does nothing for this set. So Keen-Eye is really the best thing that you can use for an ability in this set, is because of the fact that you will never, ever, ever have your accuracy dropped, and you will be able to break through evasion spam. So that's why I went for Keen-Eye here, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this little gimmicky kind of set. I wanted to have a little bit of creativity here in this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed this segment here. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you guys all very, very much for watching this Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon review / guide on Toucannon. And if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash the like button like a Beak Blast Toucannon. And let's see if we can aim for 40 likes here for this video. I honestly think that we can do it if we actually tried. And I want to say once again, thank you guys so very much for allowing me to entertain and inspire you guys with this video. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to view it. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so very much. And if you guys are new here, then be sure to subscribe with post notifications turned on, so be a part of the notification squad. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, I say have yourself a good one. Thank you for watching, and don't forget, I love each and every single one of you guys. So also subscribe, support, stay positive, keep it 100, and I'll see you next upload, baby. Woo!